Welcome back to GTU, everybody. Our mountains might be full of wet snow right now, but our skin is not so lucky with all of the dry air.
Dr. Merefith Gaufin is a dermatologist here to share tips on how we can take great care of our skin in these dry winter months. You know your stuff.
I do. As a dermatologist at the University of Utah, we see a lot of patients with dry skin, and in Utah we know we have the greatest snow on earth. Utahns love being outdoors, whether it's snowing, skiing, snowboarding, cross-country skiing, sledding. But being out in the elements really dries out our skin, so moisturizing becomes an essential part of your winter skincare.
Well, and it is crazy with all the moisture, especially this year, that your skin still feels so dry.
Absolutely. And a few of the things, I like to think of the skin kind of as a brick and mortar system. So your skin cell's kind of like that brick, and then the mortar are all these elements that help hydrate that skin cell. And one of the most important components is ceramides. And so a few of our moisturizers actually have ceramides put into them. And it works as a positive feedback mechanism. So you put the ceramides on, and it tells your body to, hey, let's ramp up this in our own body. And so a few of those examples that I brought today is La Roche-Posay Lipicard Balm.
Okay, can I hold that up
Absolutely.
so everyone can see what you love? And should I be looking for that ingredient?
You should, exactly. And then CeraVe also has ceramides in it. And you want to be applying these at least twice a day, and ideally kind of right after the shower to lock in that moisture.
So are both of these available at the grocery store, or where do I get these?
Yes, that's like one of the best things about it is they are an affordable option. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at Walgreens, Walmart. Definitely something that everyone can be using.
Well, it can be so intimidating trying to think of an entire skincare routine and where to get it. And I love that you share options that you can grab on Amazon. And I trust you. I know that you know your stuff. And then also medical grade.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, you don't have to break your bank to have really good skincare. And it doesn't have to be a 14-step process in the morning and a 30-step process at night. Really, you want to hone in on the most important things, and that's going to be your moisturizers, your sunscreens, and then a few additive things if you have the time.
Okay, I want to get to sunscreen, but first, how often should you be applying that moisturizer?
Absolutely. I'd say at least twice a day, and then particularly within the 3 minutes of getting out of the shower while your skin's still a little bit damp, you want to lock in that moisture that you just got in the shower and slather on that moisturizer head to toe.
So head to toe, but how much? My kids say I should look like a glazed donut. Is that true?
There is a TikTok trend called slugging, in which you use Vaseline, which is one of the best occlusive moisturizers.
Is it really? What if don't you break out with
That's
Vaseline?
a great question. So exactly. So if you have a little bit more acne-prone skin, you want to be careful about slugging and doing it every night. But occasionally, here and there, particularly if you'd spent an outdoor time sledding, skiing, you feel a little windburn, sunburn, go ahead, put that Vaseline on and lock in that moisturizer.
That is so interesting. I mean, because you don't want that glow, but you also, you want the healthy glow.
Exactly.
You just don't, want to be
so shiny.
Okay, so speaking of glowing, sunscreen. I know that's something that we need to use every single day, but we don't want to feel greasy.
Absolutely. So there are a few great lines out there that are more gel-based, which is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost line. That's one of the things that I recommend to my patients. And in Utah, sunscreen is so important in the wintertime because we're getting 2 hits from UV rays. One is it's coming down from the sky, and then of course the other one, fresh snow reflects up to 80% UV rays, so you're getting it as it comes up back at you.
And I bet most of your patients, like me, would say you don't wear it in the winter.
Exactly.
You don't even think about it.
It's cold. The sun's not really you can't really see it. You're not warm. So it's just important to remember and to put it into your everyday routine. So moisturizer first, then put your sunscreen, then makeup.
Should you have a makeup with the sunscreen in it?
It can be helpful, but you're just not using enough makeup to get the SPF, the sun protective factor benefit. Really, ideally, you should be using 2 finger lengths of sunscreen and mixing that up and then using it all on your face, remembering the high-risk areas, which are the top of the ears, under the chin, and the back of the neck. So 2 finger lengths is the correct amount, and you're just not putting that much makeup on.
Sunscreen can be tricky. Can you talk to me about an ingredient that we should kind of try to stay away from?
Yeah, so in the US, actually, sunscreen is regulated by the FDA, so all the sunscreens that are marketed as sunscreens in the US are safe and effective.
Good to know.
All right, Savvy, I'll handle this question. Let's talk anti-aging. You don't need to ask this, I do. What can you do in the winter for aging skin that can help?
Absolutely. I'd be remiss as a dermatologist if I didn't recommend getting your yearly skin cancer screening in the wintertime. In Utah, we are at high risk because of our altitude and our love of the outdoors. So coming in, having a dermatologist look at your skin, if we need to intervene on anything, winter is a great time to get that done. And then, of course, if you're looking for anti-aging benefits, dermatologists are trained in laser treatments, chemical peels, and you'll have a bit of downtime after those. So scheduling them in the winter will get you ready for that summer sun.
How often should you do those?
It really depends on the time type of treatment. Some things can be done every few months, some things can be done once a year. Some, if you're doing full face resurfacing, that's kind of like a once in a lifetime or a couple times in your lifetime.
Well, I love looking at all the products you brought because if a dermatologist is using them, then I want to use them too. Do you have a favorite on the table?
Ooh, and I want to say don't forget your lips, because
Yeah,
sometimes
good-
we forget
good
our
tip.
lips. They do get sunburned. You can get skin cancer on your lips, so make sure you're getting an SPF. This one's O'Keeffe's Lip Repair. Also has SPF 30, which I always recommend. You want 30 or above.
Okay, let's tell everyone where to find you if they'd like to follow. I know you're on Instagram.
Absolutely. My newest venture is Win in Your Skin. It's kind of a community to really support people. And as a dermatologist, I think it's my job to help people feel confident in their skin so they can go out and have confidence in their life.
Oh, Meredith, you are so great and you share such great content. I love following along and getting all your tips.
Yes, thank you for being on the show. Coming up next on a Friday, everybody.